Do you want to intro it?
I never.
Why do you hate introing it?
It's so easy to fuck up.
Hello, everybody. Forget both of them.
No, guests back.
Learn your
Know your place.
Just leather slapping noise.
Oh, God. Well, that's a great intro.
Oh, damn you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Chronicle Cast. I'm Evan, and
I am Nick, of course.
we have a new guest.
I'm Jamie.
Hey.
Names talk like that the whole episode.
I swear, everybody would call me Miranda Sings too.
So, we have a new guest today, and why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm unimportant.
Oh my God.
I take up space on the couch.
No.
I am Evan's girlfriend that people don't believe that I exist. I do
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, that no one believes. Everyone's like, he's photoshopping. Well,
lies.
I know that we act like we know what we're doing, but we're not. We have no idea. I was writing guidelines, and then you guys started talking about my roof having ceiling titties, so...
Everyone knows what it
does.
is. We don't have to even describe what roof titties are.
But he's got 4 of them.
Yeah, right, like, that's not even natural, dog. Usually I have 1, 2 at best. You have 4.
4 of them.
Oh my word. So that's the kind of brow humor we're in for today.
I don't think my house even has roof titties. My whole house doesn't have any.
They made a Vine about that though. This
Oh,
guy
wait.
was just like, "Did you have ceiling titties too?" It's like, what?
I like how I have 2 drinks here instead of just my normal water.
Yeah, because
Because
usually
you didn't want
we
your-
just have water.
Yeah. But you didn't want your Starbucks thing I grabbed you.
Okay, I didn't like how it tasted because you got caramel. It's not my fault.
Do you not like caramel?
Is it caramel or caramel?
Let's not start this.
Well, let's not start a debate.
Let's-
We don't get political on this podcast. That's your second strike.
That's my
I prefer vanilla, okay?
You're
Am I
on-
saying that right?
Yeah, sure. Racist.
First strike. You better watch it, Nick. You're within eyes.
I'm on my 20th strike. Fight me.
Oh, God.
I'm building up
I mean, at least
strikes
it's
like
not Mike.
stars.
He's on his, 4th.
Oh my word.
Mikey's
Mike's
going.
not here on shit talking.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding. We already
Are
have
you-
the better guy.
Our a new segment. Shitting on friends.
It's just we have to bleep their name, but we say mean things about them, and they clearly know who it is.
Totally not, our first guest. What a dick.
Or no, we just say things that only they would know. They're like, are they talking about me? But we bleep their name, so they have to sit there like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get
They
it.
call us later. They're like, hey, you can't assume stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, we're literally 3 minutes in and haven't done anything
I know.
productive.
Hey, this is how it normally goes.
Fair
Pretty
enough.
much.
So, I guess we'll go ahead and get our weekly segment out of the way. So,
Right. So
This-
I'm wearing blue panties. Oh, wrong podcast.
new segment.
New segment.
New segment. What is Nick wearing?
What's Nick wearing today?
Khakis.
Okay.
Khaki panties.
That is maybe the most disgusting sentence you've said.
Khaki panties.
Ew. No.
Oh,
How to make money 101. Have me near you.
Oh my God. Nah, so this is where we will look back on, so for me and him, it's when the last episode was, anything we watched within that last week. So just, what have you watched for the last week that you enjoyed?
YouTube drama.
Oh yeah?
Oh, the YouTube drama.
What kind?
Stupid drama.
I know
Really
you told,
stupid.
I know you told me, but,
It's really stupid drama.
well, explain it. I know, I already know, but,
You want a good explanation? Go look it up.
well, what's drama?
Jesse and Gabby, go look it up.
Oh my word.
I'm not explaining it. Too lazy.
Anything else? Not really. You haven't watched any movies or anything?
You act like I do anything interesting. I hang out with you all the time. When do I have time to watch movies?
Fair enough.
No, go ahead.
Go
ahead.
Nick.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No,
yeah.
Nick, you had something to say.
Say,
What
no,
was
no,
wrong?
no.
This is...
I'm getting
No,
dual teamed here
Yeah, this is
now.
the
Chime in,
I
Nick.
think we're about to lose A co-host?
You ready to get your third strike?
You know, I think we're just gonna end this channel right now and just say the N-word.
You'll lose it right now.
I'll do it in a Mickey impression. Fight me. This would copyright
The video
claimed
won't even
and
go up.
banned.
Video won't even go up and Disney will be on your ass.
They just know.
I get an NDA in the mail.
We definitely felt the presence
Oh, my
of
word.
anti-Mickey.
Anyway, what have you watched for like since the last episode?
Let's see. YouTube.
Well, that's a given.
Yes, of course. It's totally given. Yeah, man.
You haven't done
Yeah.
much?
No. Tutorials on YouTube. How to breathe. Make smack cakes. Pancakes.
Make khaki panties.
That's a given, man. I knew how to make those since birth.
Why?
It's
The further this
super
go-
easy.
The further this goes, the less sense you make.
Oh, well, I mean, of course.
Oh my god.
The day
Well, it's
I
better than. What was it that I said the other day that you were like disgusted with? That I said. It was like little boy panties or something.
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Well, you can't put that on there.
I said something like it was disgusting.
You said multiple things off camera that even I had to back up a few spaces.
Yeah, I said that, and he just looked at me and said, "Evan, that's foul."
Out of all the stuff I say in my entire life, I had to back down.
I'm not welcome in most places.
No, same. Walmart including. Okay. I'm surprised they haven't.
We haven't done that video yet of harassing strangers at Walmart.
Oh my god.
Have you watched that episode yet?
I think we had. Yeah, well, that was a whole episode.
Yeah, we were talking about we wanted to do live action stuff, and we came to the conclusion that we were going to do a video where we dress up as Walmart employees and
Just
start
be
harassing
dicks.
customers.
Oh no.
Just puts
And
random.
just see how long we can get away with it.
I'm gonna ask you in the future, hey Evan, do you wanna totally go to Walmart with me? No, I can't. Why? I'm banned.
I'm banned from all Walmarts.
Banned from all places.
Did you see that they're adding a healthcare system now?
Can you imagine saying that you have Walmart healthcare?
There is. If you go down to where we live, I don't know if anyone knows. They're actually building Walmart healthcare.
I don't want my healthcare from Walmart.
Awesome that'd be.
What's next? My auto insurance from Walmart?
Maybe.
Don't they have that?
They have an auto section.
For some people, that's auto life.
I was gonna say Mike, but I started to say your name. So it's like roll with it.
Just go with it.
I don't even own a Genesis.
I know,
Fight
but you
me.
don't have a stick or a stick for your shifter.
I think I have a stick for a leg. I think I'm good.
You've had enough.
I've had enough.
Oh my word. Well, I guess weekly stuff that I've watched or done or whatever. I mean, you could see I've bought a bunch of games, and that's kind of it.
Can't tell at all. What do you mean?
Shut up.
I'm still waiting for that dining table.
I'm not getting the dining table.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm gonna buy you it once I get a job.
Oh my god.
I was
Did I tell
trying.
you this? At Walmart,
Oh,
we saw a dining table at Walmart. And he's like, dude, that fits in your room. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you should get it. I was like, no.
Literally us with everything. Look, there's a couch over there. It fits in your room. Get it. But I don't need it. Just, who cares? It fits.
If it fits, it sits.
Exactly.
In your room. Oh my word. What?
No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke one.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Always you would just like, oh wait, no, I can't
Oh
say
god, I
that.
can't say that in public.
Oh, that's right. I forget if I say the N-word.
Oh my gosh.
It's just the whole episode me going, oh, I have a thing to say. I can't say that
you can't
yet.
say
Psych.
Just, you can't say the N-word, Nick. Never mind. I don't have
Can't say
anything to
that until I burn out.
Or like you're gonna shout, oh, I'm gonna say the N-word, and you don't even say it. You like, it's just some
Ends the
stupid-
episode. Gosh dang it, I forgot to say the N-word.
Oh my god. Well, Jamie, do you have anything substantial you want to say? Other than just staring at me?
I should have peed before I started this
Oh, well,
podcast.
especially because it's going to be an ASMR show.
Oh, gross! Gross.
We're going to show off the khaki panties.
Alright, if we
Water
ever do a merch,
resistance.
I'm letting you handle it. And the first one's gonna be khaki.
No.
Water resistant, not waterproof.
Oh my word.
I definitely think we can make it.
It's gonna,
I almost
it's gonna
wanna
be
look
one
at-
of those, like, it's got cargo pockets.
Oh my
On
god.
panties?
It's
That's
the most
like.
uncomfortable
Can you like
thing.
put a? You have to at least put a credit card. Like that's the least or most you have to add.
Well, hey, you don't have pockets normally, so
Yeah.
there you go.
I feel added.
Oh my god.
Not that I'm totally looking it up.
Stop. No. God, I'm sure that's a thing.
I don't know.
Whoever it is, we're copywriting them.
I hate that. But cargo panties and wolf comes right after that.
What? What the hell, Google?
Oh.
Why are they adding the extra W? I'm not gonna.
Oh my
d-
What? What? Someone's trademarked our idea already.
Cargo brief. It has like it's like a utility belt, but for like.
Do you imagine?
I'm totally buying it.
Dude
Hold on,
sleeps in his
I'm
boxers-
visiting the website. Oh,
A dude who sleeps in his boxers wakes up and hears a bump in the night and he
Switchblade.
runs out just his boxers and pulls out a handgun.
Is that a banana? Or are you happy to see me? No, it's a gun.
You'll be surprised, sir.
Jeez.
Well, I guess we could do that other segment that you introduced last time, Nick, of going through our YouTube search history.
Totally, I will definitely do that. Let me clear it first.
Secretly hides phone.
As it's just
Hold it
out
down.
for everyone to just lightly grab. Well, let's see. Today, it's a whole bunch of songs that are slowed down.
Why? Is
I
it like reverse Nightcore?
Actually, yeah, no, it is 100% reverse Nightcore.
Really?
Instead of sped up songs, it's slow down songs. Then on the day of yesterday, which is I think Friday,
Man, what an elaborate way to say 2 days ago.
a whole bunch of divorce things. Divorce has gone wrong. I killed my wife during a divorce. Thursday, slow down music. Wednesday, slow down music. Weed. Surprise.
This is what we've learned from his YouTube search history.
Oh, yeah,
Is it,
100%.
it's like 1 minute he's like, oh,
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, he's like normal stuff, and the next minute it's like, I want to kill my family, murdered in their sleep.
Oh my
And
god.
then he's like, oh, I want to hear slow jazz.
That's pretty much what this whole week is, apparently.
Yeah, he's like slow.
Because this one's Thursday. It's
Slow jazz, computer fixing, how to build a musket.
apparently I think what was this Tuesday? I was into Minecraft and Brandon Rogers and guns.
Minecraft, Minecraft channels, Minecraft podcasts, how to shoot up a school.
Monday, meet a pedophile on
the-
live stream. It's right. It's the one that looks like Willy Wonka.
What is wrong with you?
How to fix a PlayStation.
Dude, the FBI agent that watches you is like, he knows you personally.
Atari box.
He knows you go through phases.
He's never bored.
He's always
He's just
entertained.
like, oh yeah, what is he
Stop
gonna watch?
tickling me.
And then on Sunday, the day after we recorded, I looked up Daz games.
I love Daz games.
Same. This one was the 3FAP.
Oh.
When
know,
I
and
first
that's-
watched that video, I was so concerned. I was like,
I totally didn't buy one on Amazon. And stabbing you ASMR. So
I'm slowly stabbing you now. I'm using a serrated edge.
have you seen that video?
No.
This woman is literally crazy.
Oh.
Like, she's no, I don't like her. She's scared. And how to load up a musket
What is wrong with you?
and more guns. You know, That's
the
mine.
usual. The usual.
The usual.
I'm waiting for the day we get used to your search history.
Get used to. I hope you don't, because that defeats
What's
the purpose.
yours, Jamie?
Oh gosh. Okay.
Let's go through what you've searched.
$20 on ASMR.
Let's see. Hold on.
You just scroll through, like, kind of skim through the last week.
Yeah.
The last week. Oh gosh.
Because I'm more like weird. I kind of go through every day.
Yeah, it is.
Every day's a
one
whole
day
new
he's like
emotion.
Minecraft,
One day-
Minecraft channels, Minecraft podcasts.
Sky does Minecraft.
Sky does Minecraft, old uploaded videos, and then like right after that, it's how to make a pipe bomb, and then you're like, how to bomb someone and get away with it.
Walmart employees
Islamic
gone
bomb
raw.
prank.
Oh gosh. Okay, so for my history for the past week, it's a crap ton of Dr. Phil videos.
That doesn't surprise me.
Really doesn't. Some music videos, a bunch of ASMR and mukbang or mukbang videos or whatever.
I hate that word.
I love watching the fails, because there's this one fail where it's like, I don't know if it's like an octopus or something, but it pees on her face.
Oh, is that woman where she like literally murders the thing on camera?
I think, or she eats it alive or
Yeah,
something.
she's-
It's so funny.
She's been going under controversy because of that, because she literally like recorded herself murder a squid and eat it.
It's so weird.
It's disgusting.
Nick, one of mine is cheating prank with best friend's girlfriend.
Oh my god.
A bunch of drama videos and story times and a bunch of music.
You guys sound PC.
Yeah, we're pretty tame compared to you.
Yeah, right?
It's
Well, I
almost
don't-
like we, are law-abiding citizens.
it's like all of us except one likes the law.
Let's see.
We still have yet to go through yours though. It could be worse than mine.
Oh, I guarantee it's not. It may be weird, but it's probably nothing like what you've watched.
I don't know. Mine's pretty tame.
Let's see. History.
I mean, it could have been worse.
So some of them are like reviews of movies that have come out. Like I was watching one guy review that Scoob movie.
I've yet to see it.
I haven't either.
I'm a huge Scooby-Doo person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I love the whole thing.
I feel like they're digging it deeper into the dirt with the more stuff they make, though.
Yeah.
Um,
The last thing I really enjoyed was in Mystery Incorporated. That one was
yeah,
really
that
awesome.
that was a good.
Yeah, the whole dimensions and timelines.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
I've been watching some games that have been announced coming out soon. There's this dude who made a cartoon. I told you about it. That Smiling Friends.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is crazy. Psychic Pebbles. I've been watching a lot of like compilations of him, just because he's really funny. Like he'll be playing a game with his friend, and there will be some weird little demon thing, and he's like, "Oh, that's a beautiful goddess right there. You should simp for her," or something like that. Or there was one where his friend was like, they were making a joke about this fake girl, and he's like, "Dude, I'm not going to Jessica's party. Why?" And he's like, "She's a stupid slut." And he gets mad about this fictional character, and he says, "Jessica's been there for me all my life. Don't ever talk about her again."
Oh my lord.
He's really funny. A lot of Reddit memes. Some music. Let's see. A little bit of Game Grumps. JonTron. There was one video I came across where it's Mario's tattoo explained. That one was pretty funny. Other than that, nothing.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nothing crazy. Some Leafy is here whenever he uploads. SCP. I've been watching a lot of SCP stuff.
You guys sound pretty tame.
Yeah, I know.
I
Oh,
feel like
and
I'm on
then,
the wrong podcast. Now.
yeah. And then a little bit of Twitter drama with like Susie Lou and all that.
See, I stay away from drama.
I only like watching it because it's kind of weird. Like the Susie Lou thing is she's like copywriting people, and then their videos get taken down immediately. But she wasn't getting copyrighted for like literally breaking the law. And so now she's moving all her stuff to a website she's made to try and avoid the law.
That's retarded.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Sounds fun.
It's amazing.
So, like, you guys' YouTubes sound like what it should be.
I know. Maybe you are on the wrong podcast. How would you feel if one day you woke up and you like walked out and looked at your window and you saw like a bunch of people saying racist, sexist, KKK?
Me,
Nick, you need to go away.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I would like sign anything they give me. I'll come out with a marker and like sign.
Oh my
They'll
Babies'
gosh.
sign their
heads.
pitchforks and their hoods.
Yeah. One chick's probably holding a baby. I'll sign the baby's forehead with
As they're
permanent
like
marker.
nailing you to it
Yeah, they're trying to kill me. I'm signing.
in blood. Oh my god.
I think that'd be a dream one day. You know, like wake up.
That's a totally tame dream to have.
It's a whole dream. You know, you walk outside like, oh yes, an angry mob. Now I know how Shrek feels.
That's a great feeling to have.
Yeah.
Something in common with
Yes,
Shrek.
the power.
Oh my
The
word.
power of hate compels you.
Oh my lord.
Well,
That's what,
we had a pretty fun day today, didn't we? Taking pictures.
Yeah.
We.
Just enjoy it.
It was funny because we were probably not going to record, and then I was like, "Hey, Nick, you mind?"
I was
if you-"
hoping I was hoping that we were able to get that finished enough actually to do the podcast.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was planning on it, but I was literally like, "Yeah, we probably can." And then Jamie was like, "I'm coming over," and I went, "Okay." She comes over.
Now I can show proof.
I'm like, "Oh, maybe we should take pictures," and then I was like, "Well, wait, we need cameraman." Hey, Nick, I know I said we can't.
I told you to F off and I couldn't do it today, but like I
But
need
I lied.
I need you for your ability to do stuff, not for you there.
I don't like you. I
I
just
don't
need
like-
your camera. Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh, I
1000%.
don't worry. I'm being used to being used
I'm
so much. Just
That's awful.
you know what? I purposely made myself useless just so people wouldn't do that.
Oh my god.
So when people actually invite me, I know it's because of me.
That's why I gotta.
Then I realize it's because of my disability, and I can't get rid of that.
I just wanted to take your leg.
Yeah, they just want to take my leg and laugh with it. Heck, I took it off. Friday was an entertaining day for me.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Friday, kinda. I didn't want to do it, but I enjoyed doing it. It was so I dressed up. Didn't realize I looked like I came from Nam, because I was full on wearing camouflage shorts. I was wearing like a brown vest.
Oh my god.
And I was wearing another brown shirt, so because I have my long hair and I look homeless. I look like I was straight from Vietnam, and I put my leg in the truck and I left it out there, so I just walked around a parking lot with just that, and it was amazing.
Oh my gosh. That's so ridiculous.
My week was interesting. I played video game wise. Actually, I played Minecraft. I hated every second of it, but it was something to do.
That's
Dang.
funny.
You know that feeling, right? When it's like, oh, I hate this, but it's passing time, so
Yeah.
I might as well.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
It's funny. That's how I would describe hanging out with Mike.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes,
I'm
passing time.
I'm
kidding.
surprised you have yet to take a jab at him just from how we all met.
I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Well, Dunkin' Donuts seems like a pretty...
Oh yeah, I guess if you want to explain how you met
Oh.
met me and
Oh,
how
God.
we started dating.
Yes.
I definitely need help with that story, but
Okay.
honestly, it all started when I met you and Mike first. Y'all started coming into Duncan every so often, and honestly, barely even acknowledged Mike. It was just kind of you were there and you were making jokes with me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because I walked in with Mike. This is, of course, before Evan knew.
before he even bothered.
No, I was scared to invite Evan to Duncan. I was like, oh, no, my chance, which I really didn't care at all. I was just doing this so Mike wouldn't. We'll censor that out.
Keep it in.
I was there, I'm like, oh, this person's kind of cute. I need to diss on Mike so he has no chance. Mike, your phone's dead, right? Grabs his phone, puts it in my pants. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for some reason, Dunkin' Donuts, you like to kidnap people and put them in our lives.
Oh.
Makes
Jamie has been
makes
one of them.
Oh my gosh. But no, you made a joke that you were only hanging out with him because you were Rent-A-Friend, and I thought
Oh,
that was
yeah.
the funniest thing ever. I thought it was so funny. And then you showed up again, and you were with Mike also, and y'all got, just Duncan or whatever, and sat in the lobby, and I'm just like, okay. And then the next thing I know, this scrawny boy just shows up, and I'm like, who is that? Is he part of the Rent-A-Friend group? I'm just standing there watching y'all, and then I decided to make a joke, and I said, what? What did I say?
You were saying no Rent-A-Friend applications in my lobby.
Or interviews, no
Yeah.
Rent-A-Friend interviews in my lobby, and y'all started to get up and leave like I was actually mad at you. And I was like, no, wait, I'm bored. Please stay.
And now here we are today. I still have the plug at Dunkin' Donuts. I still get like $50 of free stuff a month.
God.
I still get free donuts and coffee. That's because I like people.
I love it so
Oh my
much.
god, I just realized that you were saying that.
Well, I mean, if I know I'm just gonna use you for stuff, I might as well use you for stuff, but not show any real emotion.
God, I hope the hell that Mike never watches that.
Oh, I hang out with Mike sometimes when I like really want to or need a friend. And when you're not available first. I'm kidding.
That's messed up.
No,
I just like how you're like, Rent-A-Friend. That's a good conversation piece. Okay, Mike, what about you? Car. Look at my car. Evan, and I just look and he's eating a leaf off a bush. And I'm like, you. I pick you.
that is
The three
that is my
odd-
soulmate right there.
That is him.
Right after you told me, hey, hobos pee on that, and I spat it out.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought all of y'all were on drugs. But I was like, I find you interesting. Please stay.
I've been drug free since I ate my last. Never
Since
mind.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Since
that's-
yesterday.
Since
got-
the day before yesterday. Or no, the
The
day
day
after
before-
the day of yesterday, or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, so you mean yesterday?
No, I don't do drugs. I don't do pot. I don't do crack.
No, I'm
My
just,
friends do that stuff like nonstop. Not you.
No, I'm just an attention whore.
Oh yeah,
I
you just
know.
like.
Thanks.
I know.
Thanks, honey. So sweet.
Friggin' a really good time with Mike was so every prom and homecoming has ended terribly.
That's why I never went.
See, yeah, every
Sure, that's the reason
every
Well, that's one reason.
every homecoming, everyone leaves me, and I'm literally alone. So there was one time I got picked up, got dropped off home at like 3 a.m. at like night. I called up Mike and went, I need a fancy dinner right now, or I'm
He
gonna
took you to
kill
McDonald's.
myself. As like, I won't ever kill myself. I say that as a joke, and I don't make those jokes a lot anymore because I've
Right.
learned they're not really funny anymore.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, I'm gonna do this, man. And it's a fancy dinner. He goes, I don't have much money. I went, I want a fancy dinner at McDonald's. So he picked me up. I'm still in a tuxedo, and he like smells of like Shaw.
Wait, was this when he was at Shaw? Or at
I
Arby's?
think so. Maybe Arby's. I don't know. He was
Yeah,
still.
because he didn't start. Shaw
Yeah,
until
so he
the
was
end
in
of the
he was in like an Arby's uniform.
Yeah.
So he like stinks of Arby's. I look like I just got a
funeral.
funeral, and I'm eating McDonald's, going, you know, man, what if being single is like the gateway drug to suicide?
Oh my god.
But no, it was a good night. It was honestly like, you know, we got definitely dirty looks because you
They
just
thought
see.
y'all were gay.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me.
Oh
If
my
you looked
god.
at our like texts, it pretty much seems that way. I'm pretty sure a lot of people think at school I am gay, because I'm very close to all my friends as a joke,
Mm.
and I'll hug them in like very provocative ways. And like, well,
Meanwhile, it cuts to you walking down the hall by having literally the dick of your friend. Come on, let's go.
come on, man.
I was in a more friend yesterday.
It's concerning because you used to go to school with him.
I know. I only had I had no classes with them.
No,
Have you molested my boyfriend in the hallway?
no.
No, I stole his leg and ran out.
Yo,
In the
everyone
building.
got so
That
scared.
was the funniest.
They got scared of me though, not you. That's what I think I was like PO'd about.
Evan's just an
Because
attention
Evan
whore.
did that, and I was
So,
laughing.
okay, no.
But everyone went
No,
to the
the-
corners.
The joke was, of course, stealing his leg, but
the joke, of course.
So we had done that before. Like I took his leg and just kind of walked out into the hallway with it. And he was like, that bastard, and he crawls out chasing me, but no one responded. But that one day, everyone was getting ready to leave. The bell was like getting close to ringing, so everyone was standing up, getting ready to leave. And I popped his leg off and started sprinting, just being like, ah! And he starts like snarling and like running like a
Just
wolf.
on all fours.
And everyone backs up and goes, yo! And like they pulled out their phones and starts recording. And so I run outside and out
The
of the
second
building.
you do that, the teacher immediately did not.
Yeah, no. So I ran out into the hallway and I was going for the door, and then the teacher of that class came outside and was like, "That's not funny. Turn around, turn around." But he's still running like a wild mongrel. And so now people out in the hallways just see a screaming three-legged dude chasing me on all three, and I'm just like, ah, ah! Mainly because I was genuinely concerned what he was gonna do when he caught me.
Oh my god.
And the funny thing is, I did that once a month. So much. Every class I would go to, they're like, "Yo, $5 to grab your leg, record you." That's it. I'm like, okay, sure.
But it was just the funniest thing, especially because most of the people that were in that class, because I wasn't in that class, I skipped to get in that class. Yeah, I hated one of my classes and I'd skip it to go in his. I still passed it like perfectly fine.
I'm not even questioning him, not saying a single word, just staring at him like,
Because I can tell
He's
just
got everything. I passed, I swear.
Well, just because you look at me like, you're a dumbass.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna always think that.
Thanks, baby.
Oh,
Anyway,
what a friendly.
So, but I would skip to get in there, and most of the people that were in that class, like, were people that bullied me when I was little. Like, if you remember, I can't say any of the names, but like,
and starts naming them off.
start naming
like
them
it's
off,
not
give their addresses. No,
relationship status.
I remember that one specific dude that shouted like, "Yo, what the hell?" and pulled out his phone and recorded. If you remember him, that was one of the bullies that like picked on me when I was little, and I thought it was hilarious because like when we came back in, he like patted me on the back and he was like, "That shit was funny, man," and I was like, "Motherfucker!"
Looking at him
you
like,
beat me.
I was like,
no, you are not. You were probably cowering like, thank you.
I was more just like,
Thank you for the
I was
mercy.
What the hell?
"Get away from me!"
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what I said. I was like, "Get away, ew."
Oh my
I
god.
think that's one really cool thing about high school for me is like no one bullied me because they were probably afraid of me. That and like everyone at school knew me, and it's kind of scary. Like this last senior year, a lot of people knew me, and I have terrible memory
Yeah.
of like I'll remember your face, 100% rememberable faces.
See, Jamie, if he ever like comes over and says, "Hey, you,"
Hey, you white one!
it's the girl.
Hey.
I'm a J. Just say Jamie backwards.
No, he just kind of mumbles. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" You're like, "What'd you say?" "I said your name." And you're like, "That didn't sound like my name." And you're like, "That's great. Can you repeat it for me? What did it sound like I said?"
It's
Yeah.
totally fine. I dated a guy for a month and he couldn't remember my name.
That's
Yeah, actually-
awful.
I'll do that.
He had problems.
Oh wait, never mind.
It wasn't intentional.
Mm.
Hi. If you're watching this, hello.
Doubt it.
Oh, yeah. But it's this last year, which is now gone. I officially graduated
Without taking final.
without taking finals. You know,
Motherfucker.
cheers,
You
ching
little
chin.
You little shit.
Literally, I could not count how many stalkers I had.
Oh.
Not even joking.
Interesting.
You. And it was uncomfortable because they knew everything about me.
Yeah.
They knew my birthday.
The sentence.
They knew where I
I had a lot of
lived.
stalkers has a problem, buddy.
Yeah, and I didn't like a single one of them.
I don't
Because I did not know either their age or where they came from, so I stayed my distance. I don't flirt with people unless I know your age first. I've learned anything about this little law that I live in.
Ooh, what? You get a Snapchat or something?
No.
Oh, you were laughing.
Here, just take it.
What the fuck? I was confused.
You're-
You
Just
were
look
you're
through it.
now
I don't
registered.
care.
No, I mean high school was kind of. So
For everyone, it was different.
Yeah, everybody had a different experience. I freshman year sucked. I think it was pretty bad, and then sophomore was better. Junior was fun, and then my senior year just absolutely. The beginning of it was trash. I think all the way up till Christmas it was genuine garbage, and then after that it was when I started hanging out with you and Mike and skipping my class because I was like. It literally doesn't affect my grade if I do, and then I'd go into there and I'd see like my grade go down 1 point. And I was like, awesome. And then I go into this other class that I still had. It was just a different time, and that one would also drop. And I'm like, I don't care. These are electives. And yeah, so then I started to have fun because I was starting to kind of just do what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so near the end of senior year, it was all right. But yeah,
It
no,
was-
that beginning was genuinely. That was awful.
And the funny thing is, I knew you since the freshman year.
Yeah, I know we hated each other.
For no reason because of a person between us.
Yeah, we had one mutual who went to both of us and said, he hates you. And I was like, okay, well, I hate him too, whatever, I don't care.
I was told to hate you.
Yeah, and then you went over to you, he says you suck or whatever, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I was told that, like, this dude's a dick.
Yeah,
a sexist. I was like a whole giant list.
They
I'm
give
like,
you a whole list, and they come over to me and says, he beats women. And I was like, oh.
this small, crippled, legless man beats women.
Like, yeah,
not successfully, but he does.
He can try.
Oh my god.
He turns it into a kink on accident.
You see that leg
Give
there?
me your leg.
Take your leg off. I want yours.
Spread them.
Oh my god.
The teacher did not like that.
Oh my goodness.
What about your high school? How was it?
Yeah, traitor.
What? Why am I traitor?
She went to Woodland, man.
Oh, never mind. I'm so sorry.
I know.
I thought you went to Cass.
Yeah, Woodland was like,
No.
Woodland's okay. Yeah, Carsville will allow them.
Yeah.
If you're Cass, though, you're not lasting
Prepare
a
to be
month.
hung at the doorstep.
Pretty much.
No. Oh my gosh.
Woodland, it was like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, you
You're
can come in, and they like stop you. You don't know any Cass faggots, do you?
They're like specifically like, okay, Woodland. You're
I
on
guarantee
watch.
I'm gonna have to censor all the school names.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny because we've said it like 9 times.
But no, literally anyone in Cass that goes to our school does not last a month. The teachers and students make sure they never come back.
Yeah, Cass has a very
Yeah,
strong
one of the
teacher
teachers
for
were like,
that.
wow, you know how to read? To one of the students that came.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember one kid transferred from Cass and they were in like accelerated, and one of the teachers was just like, wow, I'm surprised. Do they actually teach like actual math or
Yeah.
Let's see if you know this
Or
one.
do you know
2
Ooga
plus
Booga?
2.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, we for some we hate those
Everything with
kids.
Cass.
No, not really. Not anything memorable. They all kind of just blended together as one year for me.
Really? It was all just one collective shit.
I just didn't care.
You didn't care.
I hated everything.
Yeah. High school, it's funny because I think a lot of media and stuff like that will look back on high school fondly, like, oh, that's the best. Those are your good years. And I'm sitting there like, I think the moment I got into high school, I was like, well, when can this end?
I think everybody did.
Because I really didn't, there wasn't anything outstanding about it. I mean, I know some people, met their high school sweethearts or whatever, and that's how they found their enjoyment, but,
Right?
What are you looking at me like that for?
Stop adding me.
You didn't, though. You met an asshole.
Clean, my boy.
You see what that's called? That's called destroying the foundation of what was left.
Presidents when they join.
Oh no!
Drop my phone.
Oh my gosh!
There you go.
Just
That's
adding him.
That's gonna be my quote now. If I ever do join, would be president, destroying that foundation that we practically.
You go and look at a previous president. You're like, Abraham Lincoln, total douchebag. Franklin Roosevelt, man, he was a douche.
You know my favorite one? The white one. Oh, all of them.
Oh wait, all but one of them.
I don't like.
Wait, you can't say that.
Just you're being a president. I love the diversity. The other.
Middle-aged
44 white dude. Wait, no, it's 43 white dudes. An Oreo.
An orange dude.
An Oreo.
I got an orange. Don't forget the orange one.
Cheese puff.
Can't get any more political. We can't go any further.
In America,
Definitely
we're not going to have a female president.
I'm definitely going to put a political tag on this channel.
Warning, 19 plus only.
Oh my god. No, I don't know. And then I never went to prom or homecoming or anything like that. I know. I didn't pay $50 for a shitty dance.
Joke's on you. I paid $80 because I paid for his ticket too.
I refer to my previous statement.
I was actually the first senior year. I went to homecoming and I actually went to prom.
Your first senior year?
Not my first. No, freshman year.
How many times did you go?
How many seniors did you have? Wait, let me rephrase that.
No, my freshman year I went to homecoming. I went to prom with a furry.
With a friend or a furry?
That sentence was correct. Did
No,
I
no.
stutter?
I did not say friend. I said furry, and it was a free ticket to somewhere. I was like, okay,
Wait, was this our mutual friend?
no.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, because this is a whole nother gate I didn't know about.
Nick, you tried? No.
No.
I was harassed. The day I got raped by a furry. Or was it my dog? The world will never know.
It got a little blurry.
It got a little blurry.
I had some
All I
punch,
knew
and
there
I
was
remember I just
furry.
woke up in a McDonald's.
I just
I
woke
was with
up.
Mike, and
I
I was
woke
like,
up in a
what's
pet
going
shop.
on?
I woke up at PetSmart.
Oh my god.
Kidding. I'm in the bird cage. None of you. What?
In the Petland cubby with a puppy.
No, did that. Did all the other homecomings. Did do prom for 1 year. Definitely not this year. Of
Sad.
course.
No,
And I didn't even want to. I have yet to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I feel bad for like everybody that was all excited for it.
I
I remember
don't.
there was one of our friends. Actually, I don't know if they were your friend because I'm pretty sure. No, wait, they were in the same grade as you.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of people the same grade as me. I wish could die.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a happy
But
person.
she was. I remember seeing on her story she was like crying about like the school play got canceled or something like that, and I remember sitting there like, man, that's gotta suck to dedicate your entire life to something so pointless.
I probably do know them because I know every single person on the entire field because I do a lot of videos for them.
Mm,
But I don't do Snapchat, so you know.
yeah. No, I don't know. I always thought like
medias.
the stuff with the school, like people who were really dedicated to it. I was like, man, do you not have a personal life? You're just staring at me. I was
You're staring at me. I'm looking away like, what?
I'm staring at mouse. It has colors,
Colors.
keeping me away from the dark thoughts.
Oh my god.
Well, Nick, have you written any more of your stories?
That's a good question.
That's where he sits here. He starts breaking down into tears. No, no, I haven't.
I was thinking of crying, and I was going to. I had a tear, but then I pushed it away.
It's one of
It's
those
on
ones
my
you're saving
list.
for
It's
fake
on my
crying.
list to redo. No, I haven't done any of that. Just been doing photo edits.
Gotcha.
And then planning to go get a job,
Yeah.
and then
Dude, same.
not. Like,
It's the same cycle. I want a job, but I also love being lazy.
yeah, because I think Thursday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna drive around to a whole bunch of places and see if I can get a job.
Dude, I did that and it does nothing.
Probably doesn't. I'm just doing it to get out of the house with a camera. Camera.
Yeah, when I was first looking for a job, I did that. I drove around all of the town looking for every help wanted sign, and I went in and I was like, I don't care what you're asking for, just let me fill out a resume. And I think I filled out like 90 resumes, not a single one called me.
Nice. I'll see what happens. But I was supposed to do it Thursday, and then I was
You
like,
said you were working for Mike's mom.
working on Mike's mom, not for Mike's mom.
You misheard me.
He also misheard me. Kinda. Kidding.
God.
I'm not. I'm good.
I guarantee you one episode he watches is going to be this one. He's just going to
Oh, wait, out of all the
You're dead
episodes.
to me.
Yeah, out of all the episodes, wow, you're working on my mom? I'm sorry, man. You work on cars. I work on your mom. I think it's a good trade.
Have you ever had a job?
Under the table, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, what's your worst experience, like, at a job? Worst experience?
I actually keep it pretty positive. All of my people that I've worked for has gotten me drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, as just jokes. They forced me to drink before I left.
Oh.
They were like, "You're taking these 3 shots, and then you're getting in your car with your mom and leaving." And I went,
Alright, next few podcasts, don't mention how old you are because
Oh.
you're fine.
well, no one knows, and they're all out of business
Oh.
because they didn't know how to work. I mean, they're great guys. I
They got
played
an
Call
underage
of
kid drunk.
No, I actually played like Call of Duty with them, Minecraft. I literally played video games with my bosses. I got drunk with them. And the first job I worked at, which was a restaurant, but I stayed in the back because I'm really bad with people. but apparently every chick there wanted to fuck me.
Oh.
Because my mom's like, I got asked by every single, like, person here to fuck you, right? I'm like, oh, why am I a virgin, mother? And she just
I don't understand.
Mother, is this your fault?
Mother, are you the thou shall cuck me?
Are you the block of the cock I've been hearing?
Oh my gosh.
And, I'm still a virgin. I still don't care. I really don't care. I'm not, like, aiming to. I could lose my virginity. I literally could have lost it on my way here. There was literally prostitutes lined up on my way here.
What is this term?
Not even joking.
You asked him if he's had a bad work experience. He's like, I'm a virgin.
Rolling the ball,
Rolling
Evan.
the ball.
Yes. What?
What is your worst work experience?
Okay, I was
I don't
worried
know.
on which question you were asking.
How many prostitutes do you have lined up?
No, my worst work experience would probably have to be, God. I mean, there's been quite a few. One of them would probably be working, me and some context, me and Jamie share the same job. We work at the same place, so we deal with, like, a lot of people. You work concessions and I work maintenance, so people mostly talk to me whenever they have problems with the facility. And I was working, I basically work a blanket statement, so they just kind of put me wherever they want. And one time a security guard went on break and I had to cover for him. And so the security guard walks away with, a handgun, a taser, so, whatever he needs in case a freak, starts pushing people around or whatever. And I didn't have any of that. Instead, they said, hey, come here. And I went, yeah, what's up? And they took my shirt off and put over another one that just said security on it. So I walked to cover where he was, and I was there for maybe an hour and a half. And near the end of it, when the security guard was coming back, a guy comes up who was really rowdy, and I could tell he was drunk. And they had these bands in order to get in, and he apparently had one from a different place, and he thought he could get in with it. And he walks up, and he's on his phone, and he puts his hand on my chest and starts shoving me backwards. And I went, excuse me, sir, you can't. And they're like, excuse me, sir, excuse me. And he's just, ignoring them, ignoring me, shoving me. And I was just I'm being pushed by an older dude who's, this tall. And he didn't care to look at me. He just didn't care to look away from his phone. He was showing his wristband. And finally I was like, shoved him back. And he's like, excuse me? And, he's just rowdy dude. And
Man, that's a huge difference between you and I. I would have, if I had a gun,
I didn't have a gun.
I would just push him.
I pushed him. No, pushed your shit in.
Looks at
Anyway.
the officer, did I do good?
No,
Yeah.
No, so I had to deal with this drunk man that I just shoved. And so everyone was like, now he's creating
They're
this
on
big
his side.
Yeah, no, he causes this big commotion, and everybody calms him down and, basically kicks him out because he's not supposed to be in here, and he wasn't paying, and he was refusing to. But the entire time I'm thinking, oh, God, I pushed him. Am I liable now? And one girl pulled me to the side, and she was like, you were not supposed to do that. You were not supposed to do that. And I'm like, having a
Just
panic
looking
attack.
at your hands and there's blood on
Having a
it.
panic attack, like, oh, no, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? And security guard gets back, and he's like, everything good? And I went, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm verge of tears.
Oh.
And because he got back, I was allowed to go on my break, and I think that entire break, I sat in the break room and I think I curled up and was like, I'm gonna lose my job.
Oh my gosh.
Because I shoved the dude who was a jerk.
Man, that's what I would have done.
I'd say that was probably my worst work experience. Other than that, it's just dealing with terrible people. I had one dude compare me to a Nazi because I was listening to what my manager told me to do.
What?
Alright, I'll tell this one really brief. The place that we work is a sports place, and one of the fields was closed due to the fact that the field is beaten up and broken. The field is torn up, so they wanted no one to go on it. And his kids kept playing out on it, and I was told, if anyone goes on it, get them off. Tell them, hey, sorry, you can't. We'll be liable if you hurt yourself, plus it's our property that we need to replace if you damage it. Mm-hmm. So they just told me, keep everyone off. And this guy's kids kept running out on it, and I was like, no, get off, you can't get on it, I'm sorry, I understand. And I was still lenient. I was still like, look, if you use this corner of this field, I won't say anything. I was like, if you see a dude in a black shirt, just tell him, oh, we didn't know, or that I told you and you ignored me. I was like, if you do that, fine, I don't care. Well, anyway, my manager comes out and yells at all these kids and gets really mad at them. But he doesn't blow up on me because I was making it seem like, oh, I did tell them. But the dad of the kids tries to get my manager, like, he wanted to yell at my manager, but my manager already left. So he decides to yell at me, and he says, why can't my kids play out on this field? And I said, because yada, 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 everything I told that I was supposed to tell him. And he said, well, that's ridiculous. And I said, well, man, above all else, my manager told me I can't. He says, well, you know who else listened to their manager? And I went, what? And he goes, the Nazis. And I went, the fuck did you just say to me? It's like, did you just compare me doing my job to
a
the
teenager?
Nazis?
Oh my gosh.
It was something along those lines. It was like such a strange parallel. He was like, and then we go into chaos. If everyone just listens to what they're told and no one ever listens or does things for themselves, then we'll all just go back to being Nazis. And I'm like, did you think we evolved from Nazis? I'm like, what? It was so strange. Those two would probably be the contenders. That one was more strange though. It didn't bother me. I was just like, you're weird.
It was just one of the funnier experiences.
Yeah. What about you?
Ooh, I remember a good one. So, somebody come up with 2 fake names.
Stacy and Helga.
Stacy and Helga works for me. Works for me.
They would never hang out in real life.
No, they would hate each other in real life. No, so I used to work at a fast food restaurant close to where I go to school. And my manager, she was a very young woman who I guess just did not like me or something. I don't know what happened with that. But
was this before or after we started dating?
It was long before.
Okay,
long before I met you.
I was about to say, if I remember this, I'm going to put it together and be like, that.
No.
Says the full name.
Yeah, I'll just like, time to dox her.
So, for the sake of the story, we'll call her Stacy, and the other girl, we'll call her Helga, I guess. So, she calls me into her office one day, sets me down, and she was, like, really big on, talking about customer service and stuff, because we had gotten some bad reviews. And she was like, have you ever you've worked with Helga, right? And I was like, yeah, why? And she was like, what can you tell me about her from what you've seen working with her? And I was like, she's a good worker. She's always been attentive. The only issue that I ever had with her was there was one time I was working drive-thru, she was making food, and I was getting drinks. And I turned away for 2 seconds before I had even rung this woman up that had just pulled up to the window. I walked away for 2 seconds, made her drink, and as I'm turning back around, she has the food and is shoving it out the window to this woman as she's handing her cash up. So she drops all of the change, because she was paying with exact change in like a $20 bill.
Oh,
so she drops all of her change and almost drops a $20 bill. And she was like holding on to it. She snatches the $20 bill out of her hand, hands her the food, hands me the $20 bill and says, here, ring her up. And I was like, which I had heard she had had a bad day. So I was like, everybody has their moments. And that was the only issue I had ever had with her. Other than that, she was super nice to me. So I was like, that's the only issue. And she was like, okay. And I was like, but otherwise, she's a good worker. It wasn't me complaining about her. It was just me telling her what I knew.
Oh, no. Did she get fired?
No. No. She didn't get fired. Surprisingly.
I was about to say, like, did you just barely complain and get someone fired?
No. Close. So anyways, a couple days later, this girl comes in, and I knew her. She worked with me, and she was one of the older women that worked there, and she was actually up for the assistant manager position. I had been working up front completely by myself because Stacy was in the back doing other stuff with her manager, so I had to run the store practically by myself. So this woman walks in, and I'm like, hey, how are you? And she'd brought her kid, and she was sitting out in the lobby, and she was waiting for, to talk to the manager of the food chain to see if she could, become the assistant manager. And she was sitting out in the lobby, and I was sitting out there talking with her for a second. She goes, by the way, have you talked to Helga recently? And I was like, no, why? And she was like, oh, you got her written up.
Oh, my word.
And I said, what? And she goes, yeah, I heard you got her written up. And I was like, For what? Apparently you complained about Helga to Stacy or something along those lines.
Oh my god.
She didn't tell me what it was about, but she was just like, yeah, apparently she really hates you now. And I'm like, great. So by this point, I'm like, okay, well, let me talk to my manager about it. But she was busy for the rest of the time that I was there. So I was like, whatever, I won't bother her with it. I'll text her about it later. So I go home and I text her and I don't say anything mean. I don't say anything rude to her at all, but I say, hey, if you could do me a favor and not schedule me with Helga anymore because I have heard rumors that she doesn't like me because I got her written up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to let it be known that what I said was not intended to get her written up because I think she's a good worker. This woman messages me back with a novella, freaking 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced bullcrap, chewing me out, saying that she's not my friend, she is my manager, don't go, like, talking to her all willy-nilly, like, unprofessional or whatever, basically saying that, she didn't say anything and that I was accusing her of saying something. But in my head, I'm thinking, you and I were the only ones in the store. You were the only person that I told about this. And then she has told me that she got written up for it. What? And she was like, she knows what she got written up for. If you really have something to tell about it, go ask her. And I'm like, I cried about it because it's a grown woman speaking to me like I'm a child. But in my head, I'm thinking, you're no joke 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That was one thing I learned with working, because I had that same kind of mentality. When an adult talks down to you, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, you twiddle your thumbs, you're like, oh gosh, I messed up. But the moment I got my job and an adult was talking down to me for something, I was like, oh, fuck you.
Well, it was just funny because at first when it happened, of course, it was my first job ever.
Yeah.
And so I was so scared I was going to get fired for something. And I was like, I wasn't meaning to be rude. I was just saying, please don't schedule me with her because I don't want to cause conflict.
Yeah.
And she's chewing me out over something I don't understand why. And then I'm sitting there thinking, you're like 3 years older than me. Shut up. I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm trying to think if I have any other funny work stories, because I've got a few.
Oh, I've got a million. The place I worked at was crap.
I mean, I've got some that I think are hilarious. I definitely think the homeless guy breaking in was hilarious. I told you.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
you told me about that.
But I can't really say that one without basically explaining where we work. So
Basically.
There's that one. There was one time where one of my coworkers got fired for sleeping on the job, and it was the slowest day in the world. We had, again, so we work at a sports place, and we have games go on. We only really get scheduled when games are going on. And there was baseball practice for little leagues, and we were given full shifts. I think it was an 8-hour shift. But it was nothing happening all day. We didn't have to clean, we didn't have to do anything. There was 2 or 3 training things, and they put a full load of people. And my manager comes out and he says, I'm gonna be honest, guys, this is an easy day. And he said, prop up a chair, pull out your phones, I don't really care. He says, I don't think you'll really be needed today. I don't know why all of you were scheduled, but today's an easy day. But we still need to abide to the rules. Well, one dude who was maybe 3 or 4 years older than me, at the time I think I just turned 16, the dude was like, I'm gonna be right back. And he goes up into one of the manager places that we're not allowed to go, and he passes out under a table. And the entire day I'm like, man, where is everybody? And of course I'm not paying much attention to everything because it's a slow day. It was beyond slow. My manager came out and I got something from the concessions which we were not allowed to get. We weren't allowed to get food. We'd get in trouble for it. And I'm sitting there slurping on an icy, and he walks up and he goes, hey, what you doing? I'm icy? And he's like, oh, cool. He didn't care. And he was like, hey, do you know where, I'm just going to call him Brock because I don't remember his name anyway. Well, he was like, hey, do you know where Brock is? And I was like, dude, nope, I haven't seen him all day. And the other dude I was with was gone as well. The other dude comes back, and we come to find out, me and this other dude, we've been doing the same thing where one of us will be like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And we just sit in the bathroom on our phone on YouTube for a little while because we're not supposed to watch videos and stuff. We could sit and do stuff because he said we could, but we couldn't like watch YouTube. We did need to pay attention. But we were both like, okay, so we've been doing that in and out, and I'm like, where's this Brock guy gone? And we're like, that's really weird. And come to like hour 7, finally, we have someone from the manager place, like the manager area, come to where we work, and he says, hey, where's y'all's head manager? And I went, oh, he's back at the office. Why? And he says, yeah, I need him. We found one of your coworkers. He's been sleeping under the table all day. I went, what? And then he says, I'll be right back. And he goes down to the office to get him. And that worker comes down, Brock, and he's like, dude, I've had such a bad day. I'm like, it's the easiest day in the world. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm getting fired, man. I guarantee it. And we're like, are you serious? And then our head manager comes up and he says, what the hell was this? Why were you up there sleeping? And he's like, dude, I've just been so tired, man. And he says, there's a write-up slip waiting for you at the office, if not more. And we're all thinking, uh-oh, he's going to be in big trouble, because we really were not supposed to be. That's people who sponsor the place, so that's why it was a big deal.
Oh, wow.
And so he goes back and he looks at us and he goes, dude, it's a bad time to get fired. And I'm like, why? And he says, my wife just had a baby 3 days ago. And I was like, uh-oh. And then we get a radio call and he says, hey, Brock, go home. And we're like, he says, go home, Brock. And he's like, head home early. And he says, head home and pack your stuff. And we're like, oof. And me and that other guy, we were clocking out. And I said, well, that was an easy day of pay. And he said, an entertaining easy day of pay.
Oh my
we were
gosh.
like, what? It was really weird because that last hour, I only remember just that, like, it was eating popcorn. Like, there's Brock. There's our head manager. He's fired. He has a child. It's like, it was all just happening at once.
Where's the plot twist in this?
Yeah, I was like, ooh, what a twist.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
Do you have any stories about, like, customers or just people in general for both of y'all's sake? Anybody in public trying your patience to the point that you just pop off?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like you wouldn't pop off on somebody.
Not in public. Kind of.
That is false.
Wait,
Specific people.
Wait. Oh. Oof, you're
I'm
gonna have to help.
I'm gonna have to bleep the name, but
Oh, if I had a gun, I would go to jail.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
I wouldn't be ashamed of going to jail for, like, what, 7 years? For, what, first degree?
Depends.
Wait, what's the degree when you grab a gun, shove it to someone's mouth, and just...
Well, it depends on if you didn't like the person prior.
Oh, I hated it.
Premeditated.
oh yeah.
That
if
you
it's
go for
yeah.
longer. if
I
it's
mean, I don't
premeditated.
have...
Yeah, if you planned it, you
Off.
go
Well, I mean, yeah, I'll plan it. Like, I'll call the police and be like, hey...
Hey,
At
I'm
this
about
time,
to murder this.
No, I'll be like, at this time, you'll be too late, but this kid's gonna be dead.
Oh my gosh.
What
I would
happened?
just a giant list of just terrible things this person is. No, I mean, if I had a gun there, yeah. I wouldn't care about throwing away my entire, like, future.
But
as long as he doesn't destroy anyone else's. I mean, I feel
do-
like it's the
I know
equivalent
that,
of shooting Hitler.
I know that one's an extreme case.
That's
And
an
again,
extreme
We're
case.
censoring that name because obviously for
Yeah.
security reasons. But other than that, no, you seem to have a pretty long fuse when it comes to
the fuse is pretty much impossible to reach.
I don't think I've ever actually seen you snap at somebody.
No one has. My mom hasn't. She's afraid of me, actually, of getting me angry because of my fuse. Because my mom's never in her life seen me angry.
I think the closest I've ever seen you popping off was when I pulled out that lighter and was making the joke, because that looked like was like turning gears in your eyes, like.
Because the last kid that cut off my hair, the teacher left the class to let me do what I needed to do to the kid to teach him a lesson to not fuck with my hair.
I made that joke with the lighter because I knew it was never gonna light. Because it's never. Last time I had fuel was probably like years ago.
And you told me that too.
But
you still did it.
I told him that it wasn't ever gonna light, but it still would do the sparking thing. And I played the prank on everybody. Like I walked up to Mike and like put it close to his shirt and pretended to light it, and he's like, "Dude!" and everybody's jumping. But it was never gonna light. I told him that before I ever did it. And so I walked up to him and I said, "It won't light." And I like brought it close to his hair, and he looked at me, and that's maybe the closest I've ever seen him to like actually hitting me, because he was just like, except no, your mouth was closed. He just kind of went. Like, I'm gonna.
It's
slap
like a
your head.
preemptive warning before I have to speak.
Yeah. But
But no,
the moment you realized it, you were like, oh,
awesome, yeah.
And I explained it later, and like I was like, hey, I understand if that actually made you mad. I'm sorry, but like, that's maybe the closest I think.
Oh yeah, well yeah, I think it's the closest to like 1%
Of maybe killing you.
of maybe killing you.
Because even then, you probably would have just been like, you live today.
You're lucky I don't bring this. Never mind. No, I mean I hold in a lot of any bit of anger I have. I hold it. So I've like pretty much like 12, bombs loaded in me just in case someone does like.
They're all
beat me
6
up.
feet apart. You can't set one off. One goes off and you're like, that's not very nice, sir. That's the like level.
One's not-
Each
yeah.
one's like, you're like a Canadian. Someone irks you, you're like, I don't appreciate that.
don't
And then
appreciate-
the next one's like, listen here, mate, stop. The next one's a huge jump. Don't do that again.
Or I will shoot your daughter.
Oh my
Like just
God.
like.
Oh my god.
Why would I shoot that person to teach him a lesson? If he dies, what lesson did he learn? If you shoot his child, the child learns two
Jesus
things.
Christ.
Oh my
The
gosh.
dad has
Nah.
to now live with
I mean,
a
other than
child
you
with
just
a
saying
missing front lobe because of his like incompetence.
Oh my
Other
gosh.
than you just saying messed up stuff, you don't really ever like
No, I
get
don't.
angry.
No, I keep it to myself. A lot of people think I'm very happy, and I will keep it to that.
A lot of
just
people think I'm happy. Eye twitches.
That's we call those people comedians.
We call them liars.
Oh my god.
But there's moments where it's kind of like, oh, you're lucky I don't have like an imitation gun, which I looked up intimidation guns, and apparently they're like you still have to have a license, but it still hasn't stopped me.
Apparently there was a dude that broke out of that one prison that's like in the middle of a lake, or it's like off San Francisco.
Mhm.
What is it? Well, I forget what it's called.
Alcatraz?
Alcatraz, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it's. Sorry, I forgot.
It's like some
close.
small joint, like a
No,
McDonald's
no.
size.
I knew it was a big one. I just didn't remember the name. But he
Yeah.
apparently escaped by grabbing a guard with a fake gun and like walking around. He's like, "I'll kill him," and they're all like, "Oh shit, he's got a gun. How did he get a gun?" And everyone's not realizing it's wood.
Oh my gosh.
He literally whittled a fake gun, and it's not even a whole handgun or anything. It's just the hilt and big enough where he can hold it with his first finger.
But no, like I'm a huge fan of like literally it's the like giant metal blocks that look like real guns. If I had one of those at all times, you would see more of my anger come out. Because if you got angry at me, I'll give you a preemptive warning of showing you like the hilt. Like I'll be like at a grocery store. Oh, I would not mind being. Like, oh yeah, so which one of your kids do you want to abort?
I love the idea that just someone irks you, just like
Oh, just
someone
like-
bumps into you and you just like look at them, they're like, "Hey, sorry, mate," and you just look at them and you just gun. It's like, don't do that again.
Just like look at your wrists. Whoa, 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 whoa. Like he's already bleeding.
But no, like, yeah, I've never really seen him.
No, not a single person. I think. I'm trying to think of when I last got mad, and I think if I did, I blacked out.
Oh.
What about
So I
you?
think that would happen with me. I think if I ever got mad, I would black out, and then I'd wake up in jail.
Well, you just have
It would
so much
always-
anger
wake
it
up
would
in a
black
Denny's.
you out.
You'd wake up in a Denny's with bloody fists.
It's always a Denny's.
Just the bathroom somehow. God,
The sink's broken.
the bathroom's gone.
You're holding a trash bag, but you don't know what's in it, and you're scared to look.
It's moving.
It's twitching every once in a while. Yeah, I've had, at least at work, I know that there's been a few cases where I've popped off. There was one woman that she was just like, the one thing I hate about like the sports complex that we work at, they allow like anything. So it's baseball, soccer, cheerleading, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever
Whatever
rents the field for the day is what
Yeah.
goes there. And I think literally the worst people to have to clean up after and to deal with is cheerleaders. They are some of the most disgusting to clean up after. I don't know what it is. It's mainly little kid cheerleaders, like middle school and earlier. And I guess it's the main problem I have with it though is their moms, because they think their daughters are gonna go,
You know,
my
they're
daughter's
gonna
gonna go to a big school and cheerlead, and I'm like, that's okay, whatever.
Ma'am, I know she's gonna become a hoe. Give it 2
She's
years.
already dressing that way, and you put her in it.
You pedophile.
Oh my gosh.
But this one woman was absolutely like insane. So we put out water jugs for everybody whoever rents the place, and we just, it used to be that we filled it with Gatorade or whatever, but, that's expensive.
This time it's
That's
chlorine.
expensive, so we fill it with a hose, or dirty hose water. That's why I don't drink from those coolers.
Pulled the
Because I know where it's coming
fruit
from.
punch thing.
Yeah.
With cyanide.
Yeah, but, so some of them have, like, they're old, and some of them leak. And there was one that was put out by accident that was leaking, and a mother was, like, mad about it. She goes, "Excuse me, there's no water in this." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I filled it up, and come to find out it was leaking, that's why. She says, "There's a giant pool of water there. My daughter could get hurt. Replace that cooler now." And I went, "Okay, ma'am." And I cleaned it up, went to go change out the coolers, and I come back, and she thought that because the coolers say Gatorade, that there was Gatorade in it.
No, I can't say that actually, but our school it's illegal.
But she was like, she said, "Where's the Gatorade? You gave us water." The first time I met, she said, "There's no Gatorade in this," and I was like, "Okay." So I was like, "Yeah, we don't have Gatorade." She's like, "Then why do you have Gatorade coolers?" And I was like, "It's just the brand of coolers that we have." And she was like, "We were promised Gatorade." And I was like, "I don't know who the hell promised you that, but we don't promise that." And I said, "Maybe that's something you need to take up with the people running this thing, but that's not my jurisdiction." And I walked away, and she said, what does your manager look like?" And I turned around and said,
White?
I said, they wear a black shirt. I don't care if you complain about me. I really don't give a shit." And she was like, "What's your name?" And I told her my name because I was like, I really don't care. I was like, If you complain, my manager will ask me what was wrong, and then they'll understand. And plus, most of the time, all the managers deal with that. But she was like, she said, "Oh, so you don't care if I tell your manager that you're a shit employee?" And I was like, "No, because you'd be lying, and they would know." And it got to this point where everything that I said, she had a snarky remark to come back with. And my manager finally shows up, and she's like, "Thank God I can complain to someone who has a brain." And I said, "Don't worry, a brain was not needed for this conversation." And I started to walk away, and my manager just looked at me, and I could tell he was mad that I was leaving him to deal with her. Because I'm walking away, and this dude really didn't... He was standing in front of a customer, and he does this to me, flips me off, and I'm like, "You deal with that, buddy."
Oh my gosh.
But I hated that woman. There was that, and then there's been a few other instances, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
I was a freaking dishwasher. I had it made. Music, women going around me. I had it pretty good. My second job, under the counter, worked at a diesel shop. Pretty good.
You're the kind of person that's like, "Yeah, I had a pretty good job. I smuggled drugs." I was a pizza delivery guy with big quotation
Oh my gosh,
marks.
speaking of that.
Oh god.
In LJ, I'm going to say LJ. LJ's a shithole. I hate that place with passion. Never go. Literally, if you asked for extra anchovies, you'd get an ounce of weed.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, you could literally go to every single place down in LJ has gotten any fast food joint has gotten like tore down because of drugs. Every place sold them.
That reminds me, we can't say the city name, of course, because that would just be bringing it closer to home, but we went to that one city that you used to go to a lot, and we were like, "Man, this place is a shithole."
Oh, yeah.
We were taking like the road to get to a specific place that was only in the city next to ours, and we go there and we're like, "Man, this place sucks."
Yeah, which, I mean, it sucked to begin with, but it sucked even worse.
But it was funny because we were driving around and I was like, "Wow, that's a pet land. That's the most pitiful pet land I've ever seen. Looks like they bought a small pharmacy and just turned it into a pet land."
Oh my god.
You never know.
But it was just funny. What about you? You had like a terrible customer situation? I'm sure you have. You worked at a Dunkin'.
Dunkin'. Including Mike and me.
Yeah,
Oh my
you
gosh.
guys are all situation.
I'm surprised we're not banned there. We keep showing up.
Well, it's because Mike has a crush on a girl behind the counter.
Forbidden love.
Harassment love, you mean?
She has a
much.
boyfriend.
But she doesn't help. That bitch do not be helping at all. She be touching up on Mike,
Should be a hoe.
bending over, and she's not. Yeah,
Oh my
she be a
lord.
whole. Mike is over there with a
That
with a
does honestly
with
that
a chubby.
doesn't surprise me at all. If that's why he keeps going back, is because she's hoeing out, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I have a chance."
Yeah, like
Oh
I'll
my
just
lord.
I'll be sitting there on my phone and I'll let
He's
the
gonna kick my ass next time he sees me if he watches this.
Oh my
He's just gonna be
gosh.
like, "Dude, I swear I'll kill you. We'll have to start packing heat now.
This is when we have to pack guns.
The guest on our podcast murders me.
Oh my gosh.
Is that enough of me?
The worst customer experience I've ever had, and then the worst time I've, like, popped off on somebody are two totally different stories.
Oh.
I guess I'll say the first one where it's, like, the worst customer experience. There was a woman that came through one day, and she was really snarky to me about the price of her drink, and I'd heard it wrong. It was an accident. And so I fixed it, and she was being snarky to me, saying I didn't know how to do my job, etc., etc.
Oh, God. I hate that.
I was that person that didn't want to lose my job, so I did things that were petty, but you could just write it off as, oh, you know, I didn't mean for that to be like that. So I hand her drink, and she takes it, and she starts to say something, and I slammed the drive-thru window in her face and walked around the corner. So my coworker sees that she's honking her horn and waving in the window, like, hey, someone help me. And I'm standing around the corner because I want to hear exactly what she says. And of course, when my coworker goes over there, she's cussing up a storm, saying I'm the, worst person ever, etc., etc. And then in my head, I'm thinking, just tell her. Just tell him I'm a terrible person. I slammed the window in your face. Oh, no, it's okay. She has to close the window. She might have just closed it with a little bit more force than normal.
Oh, my God.
It was so stupid. But she came back during, like, one of the morning shifts, and I was working, and I was in the drive-thru window. And she orders 3 cups of water. And so she pays for it, and I start giving her small cups of water. She takes one.
Cream in it.
Yeah, right. She takes one, and then I try to hand her the other 2, and she says, oh, no, thank you, I don't want it. Well, you have to pay for water, because you have to pay for the cup that it comes in. It's not pricey, it's just a few cents. But I said, are you sure you don't want these? I'm going to have to, like, refund you the money for it. She looks at me so offended, and she goes, what? And I said, you paid for this water, are you sure you don't want it? And she goes, I never pay for water! I can't even exaggerate that.
I do remember this story.
Yeah, it's just like, I never pay for water. And I was like, it's a new thing that we do. I was being super calm with her. I was like, it's a new thing we do. You have to pay for it because you have to pay for the cup it comes in. And she has her straw. And she leans her arm out the window, puts the straw in my face, and she goes, you must be new here. I am a usual. I never pay for water. They know me here. And I'm standing there just...
That's where you take those lids off, and then you do what's called the get the fuck out of here.
Oh my
I would have bit the
gosh.
straw.
And the thing is, the best
She's like doing this.
No.
Just starts
Spit the
sucking.
paper. Spit the paper in.
You have a secret piece of paper in there, and she's like aiming it at her head.
Well, it was funny because the manager that we had at the time, she was like, y'all can't be mean to any customers for any reason. She was like really determined.
Oh, I could not be that job.
So she was there.
Too much cream?
Too much? So
excuse me, my coffee's wrong. Oh.
I probably would be like purposely put a sign that says people will get towed.
Like, there's not enough
Tell
milk in
them
mine.
to
You're
park
like,
there.
don't worry, you pour water in it. And you're like, gotcha.
Ask for a large, look at it, pour the same amount, add tap water.
You pour ketchup in it.
Wait, no.
Like extra?
No. Just pours it in the big cup, closes it, and that's it.
There you
Doesn't
go.
even charge them, just puts it in a big cup.
Well, it was really funny because my manager was there. So she's off to the side making drinks, and this woman is giving me such a hassle. And she says, I want to speak to your manager. I want to speak to somebody of authority. I want to speak to somebody who's been here longer. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I've only been here for 3 months, but I've been in Dunkin' for a year now. I'm not stupid. I'm not, like, this is ridiculous. And so finally, I get fed up, and I'm like, I'm gonna scream at this woman if I talk to her any longer. And so I said, hey, can you come over here? And I got my manager over, and I was like, just handle her. I can't deal with it anymore. And so she comes up and she was like, hey, it's me. I'm sure you remember me. So she's trying to get me to pay for water, and I never pay for water. And she laughed in her face and said, yeah, you do. And she was like, I don't understand. I never pay for water. And she's getting fed up with the manager too because she's saying the exact same thing I did. And so finally, my manager gets fed up. She snatches $1 out of the tip jar, hands it to me, and says, tell her to leave and never come back. And I was like, here's your $1. And she left. But, by far, I just remembered my favorite story of all time. I will never forget this. I was working with a very, very sassy man. He was the best.
Is this the gay guy?
Yes. Okay, so he's working with me, and he's doing, like, orders and stuff, and I can still hear, like, orders and whatnot.
Making faces. Sorry. I said, is it the gay guy? And he goes, and I went, just to, like, respond to him, and we just kept making faces as you're telling it.
He was so awesome. I loved it for this. So there's this woman that I had heard rumors about that she comes in and she gives you the most complicated order and says it in 5 seconds flat. Like, she says it like it's a race. Like, you have to race to hear her. So he's got his headset on and he's answering orders and I'm making drinks, but I can still hear the order. So this woman comes up and she goes, excuse me, can I have a hot... And I'm like, what did she just say? And he looks at me and he goes, just say? And he says, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that again just a little slower? And she goes, see, I told you they never get my fucking order right. And I'm like, oh. And he turns his headset off and he goes, I don't want to ask her to repeat herself again. And so I get on there and I said, I'm so sorry. Can you pull around to the window so we can just, get your order there? And you can hear her cussing up a storm as she's going around the window. And I said, I'll handle it. So I go over there and she said that she wanted a tea, but she wanted French vanilla in it. Well, when somebody says tea, we think iced tea. So that didn't make any sense because if you want a hot tea, you have to specify like the flavor. So anyways, I was like, okay. So I made her order the way that I thought she wanted it. And I go back to the window. She goes, no, you already did it wrong. And I'm like, and I step back and I said, can you handle her for a second? I think I know what she wants. And I turn around and this guy, he comes up to the window. He's like, hey, I'm so sorry. What's going on? She starts beating on her steering wheel. She goes, I want a hot tea with French vanilla and sugar, and like going off on a tangent. And he goes, okay, we'll get it. I promise, like beating back at her.
Oh my God. See, I've always wanted to do something like that.
It was so funny because he's just banging on the counter as he responds to her, and I'm sitting there like, dang.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
That reminded me of, it was near the beginning, I got reminded of a story that we have where we went to Walmart. I don't remember what we were getting, but we were walking like...
Condoms.
No. Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Babe.
I use duct tape.
I used the stapler.
Savor the flavor.
Oh my gosh, I almost puked. Why?
No, I was just making a joke. Anyway.
The clearance section. That's where I get my condoms.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
Expired.
Open box.
Torn.
Well, I can just staple them back.
Anyway. No, when we were at Walmart, we were in like the electronics section and we were checking out. And this was like right as this like whole pandemic was kind of like slowly getting to the point where everyone's going to Walmart again, and Walmart's like letting people come in all the time again. And there was a bunch of like people in the electronics section, and we were checking out. We were waiting on someone to check us out, and this girl this dude's working to try and get a TV in a cart, and it's a giant TV. And then a girl goes, oh, and runs over to help him, and she helps him put him in this cart, and he goes, thank you. Turns around and starts walking the other way, and she gets behind the counter, and the girl says, what are you doing? He's stealing! And she goes, what? No, he's just going to the front to ring it up. And she goes, we don't check receipts at the front, he's stealing! And she goes, no. Like, she was scanning us, and then she just goes, shit, and like hops the counter, starts running full sprint to catch the dude, and like the dude had a face mask on and everything. It was like ski mask or something. He was like very clearly hiding his identity, and he was just ready to go. And we're sitting there. We finally get checked out. And we're walking back, and the woman comes running back and gets behind the counter, and this dude is like slowly wheeling this cart back, and I'm like, he's trying to run again.
Oh, yeah. His head was even down.
Yeah, he was like, I got caught
again.
Oh my god.
But I was just like, he's so genius though, because they weren't checking, like during this whole thing, they weren't checking receipts or anything. They were just kind of like, whatever, go.
Mm-hmm.
Get out. We need you to get out.
Yeah.
And yeah, he really could have just been like, I was checked out back there, and kept going and got a free TV.
Oh my lord.
But I just thought it was so funny, just that woman being like, he's stealing!
And everyone was looking at him like, no.
No.
Not a single one of the employees were like,
hops the counter.
Nah, I don't believe it.
just hops and starts running full sprint. No, I didn't have anything like snapping at customers, but I definitely had like moments where I really wanted to.
Oh, yeah, millions of moments.
I'm trying to think. The way you described him, like slamming down to like
Well,
mock
it was so funny because in my head, I don't imagine him doing that as a way to be snarky. I think it was just his personality, but how it came off was like, oh my gosh, you can't do that.
Oh, I mean, I've done some. Okay, so that did make me think. I did something, but it wasn't with a customer. It was with a coworker, and I think it was like, it was a part-time manager. Like it was one of the interns as firm manager was what it was, and she had authority over me, but I didn't really care because everyone was like, you can't fire me, but she totally could. And we had a big event going on, and I kept noticing people were taking drinks from this cooler that was for the people running the thing, and so I was like, oh, I guess I can take one. And I took one, and throughout the day I was just kind of like, oh man, I'm thirsty, I guess I'll go get another. And I just slowly was taking one throughout the day, but it was like full of drinks. I didn't think it was a big deal. And at one point she stops me as I grabbed a drink out of it, and she goes, you know you're not supposed to do that. And I looked at her and I said, I really don't care. And she goes, well, I can fire you. And I just opened it again and I said, I can do it.
Please do it. I'm sick of this job.
I think it really was when I was about to quit, because I did quit for a little while, but...
My worst story about like getting mad at a customer was this old woman came in, and apparently she liked everyone there. She tipped like a couple dollars, which was nice.
Was this
Decaf coffee woman?
Oh god, yeah, that woman was weird.
She comes in and she talks to my assistant manager because they were friends, they liked each other, and she was like,
we were all gay.
No, she was like,
we've already established everyone at Dunkin' was a little gay.
Oh my gosh,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh my lord.
It slowly extends to a mile.
Oh my gosh. But she asked her, she straight up asked her, she was like, is the decaf coffee fresh? And she straight up told her, yes it is. It totally hit my leg, whatever it was.
I don't mean to alarm you, but
this spring. I found it.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I just launched a spring.
But she talked to her and she said, yes, decaf coffee is fresh. So it wasn't me telling her. Right. So I make her coffee.
Her fresh coffee.
Her fresh coffee, yeah, totally.
Fresh.
Come to find out, it was like 10 minutes old.
With a special ingredient, walks to the bathroom, scoops out of toilet water.
Oh my lord. But then she gets on my case, like, oh, make sure you stir it. She was like, I'm determined you're going to stir it. So I stirred it, gave it to her. She takes one sip of it, and she goes, that is not fresh coffee. And in my head, I'm thinking, no. Could have fooled me. And so she makes me remake it, and so I have to make a whole new pot for her. And then she complained about how much cream and sugar was in it originally, so she didn't know how much she wanted. So I put the amount of cream and sugar she wanted, and then I got her a tiny bag and then put extra cream and sugar in it. And so I'm making it for her, and she's complaining to me the entire time, and I'm just not saying a single word. I'm just nodding my head and just going on with it. That way she can't say I said anything to her. And so I like finish it, and I walk over to her and I hand her coffee in her little bag, and she goes, you don't like your job, do you? And I said, no ma'am, I actually really do love my job. And she goes, oh, you just don't like going out of your way. And I slammed that little bag down, and I said, if I didn't like going out of my way, I would not have remade your fucking coffee. And she goes, takes the cup slowly, looking at me, goes all the way down, puts it back on the counter where Michaela is, and said, I'll be back tomorrow for my free coffee, and leaves. And in my head, I'm thinking, it's not free. You paid for it the day before, you retard. She never came back. She never
I'll
take
that coffee.
The quivering lip of, sorry.
Oh my
It's where
God.
you scare an adult.
My bad.
Oh, look at this! Like, you just...
Birdie. No, that did make me think of a funny thing. I didn't pop off on anybody, but it was funny at the place we work. Again, I filled up the coolers. Again, they're filled from a dirty hose. It's like, it's not like special. We need to fill coolers quickly, and the only way to do that is using the hose. And I just remember there was one time where we had a football tournament going on, and this dude runs up to the coolers, and he's just chugging the water. And I walked up to check all the coolers to make sure they were full, and he goes, dude, I don't know what this is, but it's the best water. And I went, what? And he goes, it tastes the best. I don't know what you did. I don't know what electrolytes are in it. thank you, it tastes the best. And I was like,
Thank you, man.
yeah, no problem, dude.
Semen
And I
goes a
started
mile
walking away, and I saw him like open it, and he picks up. This is a giant like 4-gallon jug, and he's just like sipping it, and I'm just like, that dude is really thirsty. And he gets all of this team to come and just like drink all the water. I'm like, great, I'm gonna have to fill that up. And I grab all these, and he said, take as long as you need, man. That was great water. And I'm sitting there like, oh boy. My manager comes up and he says, yeah, what's up? And I said, hey, we need more premium dirty hose water. I said that right in front of him. And he goes, wait, what?
Oh.
And I said, oh, you want to know where it comes from? And he goes, kinda. And I walk him all the way back to the place where we have the hose, and then I just pick up this like spider-covered dirty hose, plug it in. I'm like, it's like spitting out because it's kind of torn a little, and I'm just looking at him. Premium quality, dude. And he's like, oh, and I said, don't worry, you'll get to see where the ice cubes come from. And like, it's a dirty closet. Walk in, open it up, and I'm just like, premium quality, dude. And the dude the entire time is just looking at me like, like slowly wanting to scrub his tongue. And I really, really wanted to look at him and say, before I said the dirty hose part, I wanted to say, yeah, that comes from our toilets.
No.
Siphon one of the toilets.
Yeah, we siphon a toilet to get that for you. I hope you know.
I would have done that. Just like takes him to the bathroom. He's already confused. Oh, sink. Goes to the
and
toilet. And then
did
does
prank,
the siphon to the toilet.
I
And
did
that
mess
stuff is amazing.
with one of the maintenance guys. He was on the janitor team, and he was like, dude, how am I supposed to clean this toilet? And I was like, you never cleaned a toilet before? He's like, I've never cleaned a bathroom, no. I was like, okay, so get water and scrub down the toilet. And he goes, where? And meanwhile, right behind me is the sink, and I looked at it, and I went, use the bowl. He goes, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, you gotta dunk you gotta dunk your hand in that with the towel. And he goes, damn it, and he literally does it. And I was like, oh god. Like, I literally just tricked this fool. And he's like scrubbing a toilet down with dirty toilet water. And I was like, whoever sits on that toilet's got a problem. I was like, they're gonna have a UTI. And scrubbing it down, he goes, I can't believe I have to do this. And I said, use the sink. And he goes, oh! I was like, you special
You should just
child.
like taught him like all the different ways.
I should have just kept making up stuff.
Yeah.
And just like,
For every
he's like,
single-
how do I sweep? And I was like, you have to use your hands.
You have to
Get
use
down,
your feet.
scoop your hands into a big dirt pile, and then find a bag and then carry. But yeah, I messed with him for like a few days because they made a big mistake with making me the guy that trains people, because I was the kid that, like, people would come on, they're like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, all right, you want to know how I work here? They're like, yeah, what do you do? And I find a good seat, and I'm like, all right, so sit down. They're like, okay. I'm like, pull out your phone. Yeah, but like hide your phone. Make sure no one can see it. He's like, okay. And I said, now watch YouTube for the next 6 hours, and then like when maybe it's getting close to your shift, just clock out.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, okay, cool.
I like this job.
He's like, I like this job. And I'm like, you'll get fired if you do the same thing as me if you're not slick.
If you're not slick.
Remember, I've been here for a while.
I've been here. I know how this works. Manager comes around, just say that you did check the bathrooms, but you were going to check it again.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh! If I ever worked in a job like you guys do, because I like the back room.
Yeah,
I like staying away from people. But I feel like if I was ever like a cashier, I would have a loaded gun where everyone can grab it, but if they aim it at me, it backfires and shoots them.
I love the idea that that's the kind of gamble you're willing to play.
No,
You
I'm
put a handgun
100%.
on the table.
I will put a loaded Desert Eagle right next to me.
It's modded.
It says, "Give it a try," and it literally just shoots the person that's shooting it.
That's so dumb.
Just to test if they really will. Like, that's how I'm gonna like test people. I'm gonna be a dick, and then if they think they're gonna think if I go too far and actually use the gun and live, I'll give them $100. I'll pay for their stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I'll pay for your surgery.
Yeah, I'll pay. Yeah. If you have enough balls to aim a gun at me, shoot me, I will pay for your food.
Okay.
Like, here's your dirty sandwich. I like that idea. That's fun. You shoot someone. Here's a dirty sandwich. It's an overpriced dirty sandwich. Hope you enjoy your food poisoning.
Oh my lord.
We cooked it on a dirty grill behind the place.
My God, near our wet market.
Yeah, where we fill our coolers. Nah, I don't. Other than that, I mean, I can think of stories as I sit here. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I do remember one. But then like, if you were to like, what's the funniest story? I'm like, oh dog, there was a time I found $5. That's all I can remember.
I've been told that if they come up with like a specific scenario, I have a story for it. It's so ridiculous.
I mean, I'm that way with writing. Like, if someone's like, write a story based off this, I'm like, got it. Like, within a millisecond. But other than that, no, I'm like, if you're like, do you have a story based on this? I'm like,
I can improv pretty good when it comes to story making.
yeah, pretty much the same.
Oh, yeah, I can, like, if you give me something to, like, a general concept.
Bullshit, I can do it.
Oh.
There you go.
Roof titties, I got you a suicide ending.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell, dude? What's wrong with you? This is probably the longest podcast we've done.
This is.
Mainly because this is way more fun than when we had mine.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
We're gonna have to censor Mike's name.
Thanks.
Yeah, you can't spell, it's okay.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
No, we're
We are
just
very
playing.
sorry, Michael. Remember, it's all for jokes and views. And maybe a like if you would like to.
Shut up.
This is...
No, the main reason is just because we're having fun. We
Oh, yeah.
normally stop it when we are struggling with, like, I can't think of any other subjects. And we're like, hey, let's end it here. Let's do a funny bit and then end it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do a quote.
Yeah, just.
Quote book.
But other than that, no, we don't. We don't have a set time of recording, a set date of recording, anything like that. It's looking like our set date is Saturday now because we can always depend on us missing Friday.
What's funny is, like, yesterday I was like, oh, I'm so down to do this. And then, like, I was like, but, like, what if I didn't?
Gooper.
God dang it.
You wanted to tell people how I got you that book?
No, I don't. I don't want to talk about that. We don't discuss the book.
The
Okay.
forbidden book.
That is the forbidden book.
No, it's not the Bible, so don't worry.
It's not the Bible.
It's not the Bib.
It's
It's not the Bibble.
It's-
Have you ever
It's
seen
not
that
James
clip?
Cameron's Book of Fantasies.
No, have you ever seen that clip? It's like Aqua Team Hunger Force, where
I-
it's, you dare speak against the words of the mighty Jimmy? Or no, it's the Bible. That says the Bibble. You dare go against the words of the mighty Jimmy?
Oh gosh.
I don't watch that show, but I've seen that clip like so many
Yeah,
times.
I usually watch a couple of the clips, but I don't actually watch. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, pretty much the same. That's the way I am with like South Park. I don't really watch it, but
Oh,
I've seen a lot of funny.
F that, man. I've seen that entire show from beginning to, like, present, like, 3 times.
Oh.
I love it.
You cried when Kenny died.
He dies, like, every episode.
I know.
He used to. They removed it.
I know.
It's stupid.
I know.
Why are you playing with feet?
That's a good question.
Are we gonna censor this now? You
It's not an ASMR.
You feetophobe!
Oh my gosh.
No. I'm trying to think of another like
Feet.
funny subject.
Feet phobia.
What the fuck?
Being, you wake up, you put on your shoes, you're crying already.
What's y'all's favorite story, like funniest story from school?
From school?
I would say college, but he hasn't been there yet.
Yeah.
It sucks.
and I've
I
had
got accepted into a lot of them. but-
and I've had 2
I'm just saying
semesters and
case.
one of them sucked. From high school.
I can tell you a depressing one.
No,
Let's
let's
not
do
do-
No.
funny.
Let's not do that.
one.
Funny one.
A lot of mine is like situational. Like it was really funny
Yeah,
at the time, and like I look back and I'm like, it's not that funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how most of high school kind of goes. It's
Yeah.
You can try to describe it, but it won't really be funny when you
Yeah,
describe
like
it.
there's a lot of like moments where I know I had fun and I was laughing a storm,
Yeah.
but like I can't think of like anything off the top of my head, just like specific.
Yeah.
I know that there's like, you know, that time where I stole his leg and ran and everybody was freaking out. That one was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
But I don't know if that's my favorite moment.
yeah. What my friends and I would do in class, because I say a lot of stupid stuff.
Mhm.
No shit.
Yeah, we know.
And he has an entire list of stuff I've said
Yeah.
that he had to record because it was so like effed up or really weird. So we have like a list of all the weird I've ever said, and I'm trying to get that list and share a couple insights of it and how my mind works. But like the most humane one, I think, well, a funny one was, did you know the universe is at least 2 football fields wide?
Oh my god.
It was something stupid like that. And I think my favorite part of a wreck is the pork smell,
Oh my god.
which is really messed up. But it's like that type of stuff.
Do you remember when we got inflatables at like the end of the year?
Oh my gosh.
You
Our
make
school
that
got a
sound.
bunch of inflatables.
Our school got us dolls. Kidding.
No. There was inflatable obstacle courses.
Yeah, I cut myself so much on that. Like, I was bleeding at the end.
How?
Because they were cheap.
And
Oh, I was
serrated on,
Yeah.
like, any of the edges. So, like, my
It's like
hands
torn
were...
rubber.
Yeah, so my hands were, like, cut up in multiple spots. I had a gash. Like, I was, like... I went through, like, a war wound.
I do have, again, a lot of my stuff is situational. Like, I think it's funny at the time. But I do remember one that was kind of funny was we had a pep rally. And our school doesn't necessarily have a mascot, per se. Like, we don't have...
We don't.
Yeah, we just straight up don't have a mascot. And I think for a period of time they were trying to make us have a mascot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this superhero. It was just one of our teachers dressed up. And he's like an overweight teacher. So it looks like this pitiful... No, it just looks like this silly superhero. But he was trying to pass it off that he's a wrestler or whatever. And I think he actually is a wrestler. I don't remember. Or was a wrestler. But, so, he would run out on stage during these pep rallies. And I think this is what they were trying to make our mascot for a little while. But it was so goofy. But I thought he looked like Macho Man, like the wrestler. I don't know if you know anything about that. But he was that guy that did the Slim Jim commercials with "Snap it with Slim Jim," that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started mocking him during the pep rallies. And me and Mike and our friend John and another friend of ours, who I don't care to say, you know who you are, go fuck yourself.
Oh, I know him.
yeah, he's a
I mean,
Yeah,
I knew who that was.
giant jerk. Anyway,
Yes, he makes really good food.
who? It's not the same guy then.
Starts with an M, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes really good food.
Oh, well then he's still an asshole. Anyway.
Oh, what?
Anyway.
He literally cooks for my friends and I during a D&D day. We spent the whole day like playing D&D and some of the best potatoes ever.
You know what? I tried to bury the hatchet with him. He wanted to make a big deal about it.
He made me food.
You know what? That's all that matters.
That's the whole
if he's a
story.
good friend of you, that's whatever.
I
He was a
haven't
jerk.
talked to him since he quit D&D because we made him quit.
Well, he's a giant dick. Anyway.
Okay.
So,
Wiener.
So, we were all sitting in the pep rally, and it got like really quiet, and the dude came out on stage, and the whole school's like laughing and having fun with it. I think that's why they were doing it, is because it was more fun than serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I started sitting there, and I think I was the only one that made the connection that he looks like that guy. So I started shouting, "Snap it to a Slim Jim!" And all of our friends were staring at me now, just mocking him as he's running around on stage during a pep rally. So I'm like yelling out all these Macho Man like phrases that he said.
Provocative.
I'm like, "Oh, you're in for a world of pain!" Like I'm doing that in a painful voice, shouting it during a pep rally, and we're all laughing at it. But the funny part was, we leave that room. I hadn't spoken yet. We were in a giant auditorium. We're leaving, going back to our classes, and everyone was like, "Man, that was fun, Evan." And I was like, "Yeah." Like, I lost my voice completely. It was the first time I'd ever lost my voice because I was shouting Macho Man quotes all day. And they were like, "Evan," and I went, like, my throat was so dead. And I just remember sitting in class and then the teacher saying, like, calling on me, and they were like, "Evan, do you have anything you want to add?" And I went, like, my throat just gargled, and I was like, it's like, I can't.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like that for like the next week, and everybody just made fun of me, like, by being like, "Hey Evan, say no if I can have your, or say something if I can have your cookies." And I was like, they're like, "Oh sweet." They just take my stuff because I can't say no.
Oh my gosh.
There's that. I don't really have, like, again, it's all situational. Like, at the time it was hilarious, and I know I was laughing my head off, but, like, now I'm sitting here, I'm like, yeah, it wasn't that funny. I think me and him hating each other for a little bit, even though it was just our mutual friend was a jerk.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, because it was like, look at you, I'm like, I should look at him weird or some shit.
You know, I do think the fights that we had in the school were pretty funny. Do you remember that fight that started on the upstairs of the Humanity Building and continued down the stairs? And they were bloody-faced, like, all the way down the main floor. That fight, that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
Because that one was like a teacher ran up and was like, "I'm gonna stop." Oh god.
Never mind.
Yeah, they were like, two kids started fighting on the second floor of the building. They dragged it downstairs and was beating each other up as they were falling down the stairs. And like, when they were both done, their faces were like caved in.
Oh my lord.
Like one of them, I'm pretty sure his nose was broken, and like it was like that way, and then the other one, I think his eye socket was broken. But yeah, they fell down the stairs, both fell off of each other, then got back up and started beating the shit out of each other, then started falling down the stairs again to get to the first floor, and kept continuing to beat each other up. And we're like, they're gonna die. They're straight up, they're just gonna kill each other.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think.
Ooh, I remember mine.
What's that?
So, very few people know the truth behind this story. They know the live version of it. I'm gonna tell the truth version because he already knows it. So he'd call me out. Whenever I used to live on campus at college, I had a roommate. We'll call her L for the sake of this. We'll call her L. So, Elle wasn't home, and I'm just chilling in the dorm, just kind of doing whatever, cleaning. I didn't have class for like another few hours, and I ended up going to the restroom, and I clogged the toilet. Well, it was during the first like 2 weeks of us being at college, and my mom told me whatever she doesn't buy, I need to go get. So like hold off on a bunch of stuff. And a plunger was one of those things. So I was like, crap, now I gotta go to Walmart. And so I get my stuff together, and I go to Walmart. I go to Walmart and I buy a whole thing of paper towels. I buy a plunger and some soap. That was all I bought. And I come back and I'm starting to open the door, and all of a sudden the door swings open and my roommate is standing there wide-eyed, flipping out. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's on the phone talking to somebody. Like, I don't know what happened. I swear I don't know. And she like walks into the room and she's pacing back and forth. And I'm just coming in, putting my stuff down. Like, okay, weird. And so, anyways, I was like, whatever. And I walk into her room, and I said, what is going on? Are you okay? And she says, look in the bathroom. And I was like, and I looked in the bathroom, and the bathroom floor is flooded in an inch of water. And I looked at her, and I said, what did you do? Bleep out her name. That totally said it. But I was like, what did you do? And she goes, I swear, I only went pee. I flushed it and it wouldn't go down, and so I flushed it again and again, and I was like, you retard!
It
I was like,
worse,
wait a
so
minute!
I did it over and over and over again.
I flushed it 20 times.
And in my
I
head,
held the thing down and it started pouring over, and I thought maybe it's working.
and in my head, I'm feeling
Coming out.
guilty because I'm like, okay, this was caused by me, but at the same time, I was like, this was totally your fault. Why did you keep flushing it? I was like, if it didn't work the first time, what made you think it was gonna magically work?
See, because you asked us about high school, I didn't mention like going and visiting my friends like
Oh,
out of
yeah.
school during the summer. When I went and visited my friend Sam.
You cut off my story.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you?
No, finish your story. I'll say that after.
But it was really funny because she's flipping out. I'm like, who are you on the phone with? And she's like, my mom.
Yeah.
I was like, you for real called your mother. I had met her mom too, and she was super nice. I was like, did you call maintenance? And she was like, I did. They didn't answer, so I sent them an email. She's like about in tears. And I'm like, it's okay. My class had gotten canceled for the afternoon, so I was just like, what time are they going to be here? And she was like, I have no idea. And I was like, okay, it's okay. I got a plunger while I was out. And so I walked into my room, got the plunger, and I handed it to her, and she steps away from me like she's scared of it. And I was like, it's just a plunger. It's brand new. I can show you the receipt. I promise I just bought it. And she goes, I've never plunged a toilet before. And I stopped, and I looked at her, and I was like, now listen here. I'm not saying that I have some gigantic shits, but I've plunged a toilet before. Why have you not? So basically, in my head, I'm thinking, yes, this was my fault. But it still kind of wasn't. So I had to wear my tennis shoes and tiptoe in this piss water in the bathroom to plunge this toilet. And she's about in tears because she thinks it's her fault. And of course, I'm making her believe it's her fault.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all your fault. You're so stupid. Why'd you... Yeah. And so I'm plunging. It is not doing anything. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll just wait for maintenance to come and he'll figure it out. But until then, we need to clean this up. As I'm saying this, she's going out the front door. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. I'm like... What?
Speech.
So I use 1.5 of my paper towel rolls that I went out and bought just to soak up the water. And then I have to sit and scrub every part of this freaking bathroom to make sure it doesn't smell like urine. And I'm like, this is so stupid. And so finally I get fed up after leaving it there for like an hour, and I go back and I start plunging it, trying to fix it, and it fixes itself. And I'm like, thank goodness. So I go back into my room and I'm sitting there and I'm just doing my homework, and somebody knocks at the door, and I was like, it's probably maintenance. So I opened the door and he was like, I'm here for a clogged toilet. And I was like, no, it's fine, we fixed it. And he goes, who did it? And I was like, oh, my friend, she just kind of flooded the bathroom a little bit, it's whatever. And he was like, no, who did it? And I was like, it was a mistake, it was a misunderstanding, I was working on it, I like tried to fix it. And he goes, no, who fixed it? And I said, me. And he goes, oh, good job. And so walks away, and I'm like, thank you?
Why did he have to like harass you for it?
Just.
I forgot about that part where he's like, who did it?
No, he's like, who did it? And I was like, I fixed it. And he goes, oh, good job. And I was like, thanks? Bonnie comes back and I'm like, the bathroom's clean, you ungrateful.
Not really briefly, because I didn't know you were like telling college stories. I was like, oh, I have a way funnier one outside of school.
Well, it's still school.
I went and visited my friend Sam out of town. He lives, actually I'm not going to say that, but he lives about 3 hours away from us. And when I went and visited him, I stayed for about a week, and I got to hang out with a friend that I hadn't seen in like years. And this friend's goofy as hell. And we were at a Waffle House at like 10 o'clock at night. No, way later than that, because I remember we went there because nowhere else was open. I don't know if it was 2 in the morning. It was like between those times, because I know it was late, but not too late. We were sitting there, and we were all just getting breakfast food, because we were like, whatever, it doesn't matter. And my friend, we describe him as the kid who's high all the time when he's not, and he doesn't do anything. And he was like, the waiter, he said I want bacon, I wanted ham, eggs, and a waffle. And he gets the waffle and eggs, and I said, we don't have any ham. And he goes, oh damn, that's okay, I'll just have bacon. I'm like, okay. And turns around and he sees this dude drop a whole plate of ham, and he goes, my ham. And the dude goes, what? And he goes, that was a ham you could have gave me. And he goes, no, that was on another table. And he goes, that was my ham. He says, there was bite marks. And he goes, that was mine. He said, I paid for that ham, and you threw it away, sir. And I'm like, quit harassing them. And he's like, I'm genuinely mad. And he stands up in the table, and he's like, give me that ham. And he goes, okay. And he like reaches down in the trash, grabs this piece of ham out with a clear bite mark in it. That's like 4 or 5 bite marks. And he's like, are you sure? And he's like, I want it. He's like, okay. And he puts it on a plate, and he puts it down on the table, and he goes, what the hell's wrong with you? There's a bite mark. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, this is duh. He pushes away, and I'm like, oh my dear God. It was so dumb. That was maybe the funniest one, because I was like, he's harassing an employee in the middle of the night. But you haven't gotten to talk.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your funniest story you'd say during school?
He's like, I'm put on the spot, I don't know what to do.
Funniest. God. I.
Oh, yeah, no.
Don't worry about that. Whoa.
Wow.
That's too. No.
No.
Funniest. I actually don't think I can think of anything.
Oh.
Just don't look at me that way.
Is your life boring?
I mean,
You
I
okay?
don't hang out with people a lot.
You hang out with me, God.
Appreciate it.
I think I hang out with Mike and you, Evan. That is literally it. That's who I hang out with. Other people, I have to force myself.
Dang.
Only because I'm very antisocial.
I mean, I was kind of that way for a while.
Yeah, so...
I really, I had friends, quote unquote,
Oh.
but it was like, want to hang out? I'm like, no, actually, but I'm going to have to say yes, because it's much better than being bored all day.
I don't know. Some of the few friends I have, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm staying away from you. I have one friend, I'm not going to say his name. Let's call him Jose, which is just another provocative way of saying his other name.
Oh.
He does like every drug under the sun, and he's always drunk. He's beautiful drunk, by the way. Like, you get him drunk, and it makes you happy. Because he wants to dance, he wants to hug, he wants love so much.
Comes over and he's just like spooning you.
Oh,
like, why did I agree
it
to
hasn't
this?
happened. No, that's happened.
Oh my god.
It literally happened at the last homecoming.
Oh my
He
Lord.
literally showed up hammered. He's like, Nick, I want to hug and let's dance. So he literally is like trying to hold me and dance. And I'm smiling my hardest. I'm like, this is so adorable. And it is just this small Mexican dude he's smaller than me in the sense of height, but he's thicker than me. So you see this like happy lot of Mexican just dancing everywhere and happy and like trying to kiss us. And he's not gay, which is the funny bit. He's like,
He just turns gay.
hates gays.
With a passion.
I want them dead. Meanwhile, drinks and he's like, make out with me.
I need cock.
Drop your pants, Nicholas.
Oh my god.
He's beautiful, but he does like every drug. He drinks a lot, and the only downside to his drinking is he hates women.
Oh.
That's the interesting part. Without
Single team.
without drinking, he loves women, and he'll like be like, "Oh, my best friends." With drinking, he will hit women and suck guys' dicks.
Oh.
So he's complete polar opposite. He goes
What is it?
He goes straight.
Drunk man's thoughts is a sober man. Or no, drunk man's words is a sober man's thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Guess he's actually.
But no, he's just the best dude ever. Like, I have to say, I wish I hung out with him.
He's just the best dude ever. Just bees. Disgusting.
Fucking, he even did a drink off. I didn't join. No one really
That's
liked.
what you're telling the show.
No, I'd actually, like I said, I never hang out with people except with you or Mike. So people be like, "Yeah, dude, we're having all of our friends over." I'm like, "Yeah, guys, you all know me. Why didn't you invite me?" They'll like ignore that and be like, "Yeah, so we're having so much fun that night." I'm like, nice.
That's a whole mood.
And yeah, it's a whole mood, and it happens all of 4 years of high school. Which
yeah, that happened all of 4 years of high school. I'm like, thanks, bud.
yeah, thanks
you
for
guys
telling.
get all
Yeah, you
rot in
guys
hell.
told us all the fun you guys had without me.
Honestly,
And I
that
didn't
was kind of what made. Because I said junior year was pretty fun, but like near the end of junior year, that right there was what really made me hate it.
Well, after the first 2 times, I was like, "Wow, guys, you kind of like." I said in my head, "You guys are inconsiderate. You guys didn't invite me." And then after like the other 50 times after that, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is just a natural thing. They just don't think about people."
Yeah.
And one time they got so drunk they were puking everywhere, and they have footage of it. And I was like, "Oh, this is adorable. Look at this. You guys can't even handle your drinking."
God, look at you babies.
Oh my god. And speaking of Jose, the same dude, he went to a field trip, got fucking drunk, and you just see him bobbing it. They went out to eat, and everyone's like eating, and he's like,
Life's great.
Dude, I remember
steals someone's keys, runs to their car, starts it, and leaves in someone else's car. And the one teacher's like, "Do we need to report him?" And my friend's like, No, he's perfectly fine. He's drunk, stolen his friend's car. He doesn't come back till like 30 minutes later. And there's like, it's no crashing or anything. He just left, got McDonald's, came back. And he's just drunk. Hanging out with everyone. Oh, he's a beautiful dude.
See, I remember.
Still hates
this
women,
one's really
though.
short, and then we'll just end the podcast.
Oh, yeah, because we need to. We're about to
Yeah,
hit
we're
the-
almost at 2 hours.
We're-
It's the longest podcast we've had.
Right? And
Just you saying the field trip thing reminded me. I had an anatomy field trip my senior year, and it was really funny because we went to
I was
that.
about to say, Nate has one of those.
Oh yeah.
I have an anime field trip. Oh, I don't have any. I'm okay. But
but-
you.
But, so it was to the like bodies exhibit or something. It was like where
I wanted to go to that so bad.
It's
My school
kinda-
was cheap.
it's kind of gross. But anyway, it's a bunch of dead people.
Oh yeah, I
That's
know.
like
That's why I wanted to-
super.
Oh cool. Well,
That's awesome.
I had one. There was a girl in one of that like groups that I was with, and it was so stupid. I walked around the corner to the like reproductive section,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just looking at one of the bodies laying on the table, and it's like you know, it's a dead dude, and his dick's sitting there, and she's just like staring at the dick. And I walked up and I was like, hey, you okay? And she goes, I think I've developed a problem. And I just looked at her and I went, what kind of problem? And she goes, I don't think I need to be here anymore. I was like, are you okay? And she's like, do you think there's cameras that would like stop me from doing it? I'm like, it's a dead person. She goes, I know, that's the problem. And I was like, leave now, the door's that way.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, go away. And like, they didn't allow us to get on our phones because they were like, don't take pictures, these are actually dead people.
Yeah, it'd be disrespectful. Well, I don't want to be more disrespectful. Having one person fuck a dead body.
Yeah, touch a dead, like, yeah. But she was like pulling on her phone. I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, all right. Like, as if she just like was totally oblivious and was just like,
that's so
yeah,
weird.
I was like,
dead.
Yeah, while she's doing that, I'm like, 911. I got a necrophiliac over here.
Oh, that's so weird.
It was so disturbingly weird. Anyway, that was probably the weirdest experience. But I remember like walking up to a friend of mine, who I'm still cool with, even though I hate his girlfriend. And I was like, hey, that girl over there. And I remember he was writing down, he was like, yeah, what's up? And I said, what did you just write? And he said, oh, I wrote something about like when you die, you poop everywhere. And I was like, never mind.
Never mind. You
Like,
keep doing
I just
you.
imagine like a teacher is like writing on a clipboard saying that you're trying to report her, and the teacher's like,
Yeah, it was just really
Shit.
funny. I was just like, dude, that girl's a necrophile. What are you writing? And he said, I wrote that you poopy when you die.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I think that was like exactly what he said, because he was just like, he was staring off into space and he's like, I wrote you poopy when you die. And I was like, oh, well, she wants the fucking dead body.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so I think that's a good place to end it.
Yay!
So, you got any final words anybody want to add?
is it rape if they die? I mean, let me rephrase.
No.
If they're dead.
Oh, we do have the final quote to add to the end, so he did it last time.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess that's to do it now.
Wait, what? I'm new to this.
That's it? That's the quote.
No, that's not how it works. So the quote, the end of the video quote is, you can say whatever you want and I'll put it on screen for like the ending bit. But you have to make sure that you say it, because as soon as you say, okay, here it is, whatever you say right after that is what it'll be. So if you like stutter, I'll put a stutter.
I'm gonna do this because I hate you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here it is. Did you ever think that you could that
subtitles.
that you could do anything?
Subtitles. I've been gotcha'd. Genuinely, you got me back. Okay.
What
Bye, guys.
That's the final quote. You have anything you want to plug? Like your social media?
No,
It will be
don't
censored.
follow me. Go away.
Okay. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. See you all in the next one.